carefully handcrafted in China. Turns out your quote-unquote made in Italy luxury handbag might have more ties to Chinese factories than to Tuscany. Thanks to viral TikToks from Chinese factory workers, the internet is now in a
price $23,000, but Guangzhou price $600.
When you think of luxury fashion, there are a handful of names that immediately come to mind: Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and of course, one of the most iconic names in the business, Hermes. This French fashion house is synonymous with exclusivity, craftsmanship, and, most notably, its Birkin bag. In the world of luxury accessories, the Birkin bag reigns supreme, often seen on the arms of billionaires, Hollywood celebrities, and influencers around the globe. But here's the catch. What if I told you the price you pay for that Birkin bag isn't just about the high-quality materials and craftsmanship you've been led to believe? What if, behind the glitzy advertisements and the aura of exclusivity, the truth is far more complicated and, dare I say, less glamorous than we've been led to think?
Your mom is real. Don't love me because of no diamonds. Take all this. This bracelet right here look real as a. This shit was $23.
Claire is wearing a fake Louis Vuitton fanny pack and she didn't know it. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I know that this Louis Vuitton bag.
Speaking to this client here regarding selling her Birkin 30 Gris Etane, if I'm not wrong. Gris Etane is the color and it's palladium hardware. The bag is in box fresh condition, but it's Y stamp, which means it's a 2020.
In this video, we're peeling back the layers on Hermes, luxury fashion, and the Birkin bag to reveal some surprising truths. Stick around, because what you're about to hear might change how you view the entire world of high-end fashion. Let's start with the Birkin bag. For those who aren't familiar with it, the Birkin is arguably the most coveted fashion accessory in the world. Named after the British actress Jane Birkin, this bag was created in the 1980s by Jean-Louis Dumas, the then CEO of Hermes. It was originally inspired by a chance meeting between Dumas and Birkin, who was struggling to fit her belongings into a regular handbag while on a flight. From there, the Birkin bag was born, a symbol of luxury, status, and refinement. The price tag for a Birkin? It can easily go anywhere from $12,000 to as high as $40,000 or even more.
Are pieces of artwork. These artisans train years and years to make one of these bags.
Fabrice is doing the last stitching on a Kelly bag. A Kelly takes around 13 hours to be made, depending on the materials that we make it. Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag.
Depending on the material, color, and other customization options. We're talking bags made from crocodile skin, diamond-studded hardware, or even rare leathers. But what makes the Birkin bag more than just an expensive handbag is its exclusivity. Hermes has carefully cultivated an image of the Birkin as an elusive, almost unattainable item, so much so that acquiring one is seen as a status symbol of immense wealth and power. But as with most luxury items, there's a carefully constructed narrative around the Birkin bag, one that presents it as the epitome of craftsmanship, luxury, and uniqueness. In reality, the manufacturing process and origins of these bags may not be as clear-cut or as exclusive as you think. Here's where things get interesting. Recently, a whistleblower video surfaced, sending shockwaves through the luxury fashion industry. In this video, an unnamed worker from a Chinese factory revealed a shocking truth. Hermes Birkin bags are being manufactured in China.
This is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD.
Have you all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? The only real difference? China ships the products to Europe, slaps on a made in France or made in Italy label, and boom, luxury? It's ridiculous.
They say, I want to buy one of these. You know what they say to you? No, we don't have them. First of all, you have to be a Hermes customer. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand. And then you can only buy one.
The latest Hermes bag with me. This is my first bag I got this year. I usually get 1 bag a year, and this is the one for this year. And I'm really excited about it.
A fact that has been largely hidden from consumers. The video claimed that many of the bags that are being sold as handcrafted in France are, in fact, produced in factories in China. This revelation has sent ripples through the luxury fashion world, leaving many consumers feeling betrayed. It's important to note that Hermes does, indeed, have craftsmanship teams in France. But the fact that some of the bags are being made elsewhere, especially in China, where labor costs are far lower, raises some serious questions about the transparency and integrity of the luxury market as a whole. What makes this even more startling is the fact that Hermès has built its brand on the idea that its products are handcrafted by skilled artisans in France, where tradition and expertise are said to infuse every stitch of leather. But when a bag, which can cost upwards of $40,000, is found to be mass-produced in a factory in China, the value proposition starts to crumble. Consumers have long believed they were buying something unique and painstakingly crafted. Could this revelation completely change how we perceive the brand? Let's take a deeper look into how much it actually costs to make a Birkin bag. The price of a Birkin may seem astronomical, but when you break down the cost of materials and labor, the reality may shock you. Leather. The first component of any Birkin is the leather. The leather used for Birkins comes from Italy and Germany, not France. While Hermès prides itself on sourcing the best leather in the world, it's important to note that the materials alone don't justify the bag's sky-high price. Leather costs around $450 per bag.
This style, this bag, of course you do. For the past more than 30 years, we have been the OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Gucci, Prada, Coach.
A lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
In Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
Thread. The thread used to stitch the leather together is specially made by Filo Chinois, a French company. While it's high quality, it doesn't exactly come at a premium cost. The thread costs about $25. Hardware. The famous Hermès hardware, like the buckles, clasps, and zippers, are crafted from 316 stainless steel and often plated with gold or platinum. These high-end materials cost about $150 for the set of hardware used on each bag. Edge finishing. The edges of a Birkin are carefully coated with a special oil that helps maintain its appearance. This step, which adds about $50 to the production cost, is another labor-intensive process that gives the bag its polished look. Lining. The interior lining is typically made from lambskin or another high-quality material, which costs around $100 per bag. Labor costs. The labor involved in putting the bag together, especially when outsourced to factories in China, costs approximately $600 per bag. This covers everything from cutting and stitching the leather to assembling the hardware and ensuring the bag meets Hermès standards. Packaging. After the bag is completed, it's carefully packaged for delivery. The cost of the packaging materials is around $10.
It's the Chinese supply behind product. Bags are from Siton Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years, and it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
He started making his boots in China, and that is these boots right here. This is pretty much the Ugg boot that like most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing Ugg boots, and they were always the cool surfer kids.
Those bags I cut open, just expensive, nothing special. But a few truly exceptional.
Thing is as humbling as your daughter drawing on your $60,000 Birkin, am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad at her because when I asked her, I was like, I wanted to see if she was gonna tell me the truth. I was like, Coach, did you draw on mommy's purse?
Literally spent $60,000 on this purse. Look what my daughter did to my purse.
So, when you add up the cost of the materials and labor involved in making a single Birkin bag, the total comes to about $1,400. While that's still a considerable amount for a luxury product, it's nowhere near the $12,000 to $40,000 range that these bags are typically sold for. The difference? It's all about branding, exclusivity, and perception. One of the most enduring elements of Hermès marketing is the idea that each Birkin is handmade in France by skilled artisans. This claim has been central to the brand's narrative for decades. The message is clear. When you buy a Hermès Birkin bag, you're not just buying a product, you're buying heritage, craftsmanship, and exclusivity. But as we've seen, some of these bags aren't made in France at all. They're made in China in factories that may or may not have any ties to the Hermès brand beyond the materials used. So, what does this mean for consumers who have been paying tens of thousands of dollars for a product that isn't entirely produced in the manner they thought? At the core of this issue is a question of transparency. If Hermès had been upfront about the origins of its bags, would consumers still be willing to shell out tens of thousands of dollars for the same product? Does the fact that the bags are made in China instead of France change the inherent value of the product? Some would argue yes, while others would say no, it's still a Hermes Birkin, after all. This situation brings up a broader question. Why do we place such immense value on luxury brands in the first place? The answer lies in the psychology of luxury consumption. Luxury items are often seen as symbols of success, power, and social status. It's not just about the product, it's about the message it sends to others. Owning a Hermes Birkin isn't just about having a high-quality bag. It's about telling the world that you've made it, that you're part of an exclusive club. But as we've learned, many luxury products, including the Birkin, are not made in the ways we've been led to believe. This creates a disconnect between the marketing narrative and the actual product. When the true origins of these items come to light, it shakes the very foundation of why we place such high value on these products in the first place. Are we paying for true craftsmanship, or are we paying for the illusion of craftsmanship? When the video exposing the truth about the Birkin's manufacturing origins went viral, the backlash was swift. Many loyal Hermes customers expressed feelings of betrayal. They had bought into the luxury narrative that these bags were the product of French artisanship and exclusive craftsmanship, to learn that the reality was much more complex, and that some of these bags were, in fact, made in China, was disheartening for many, but not everyone was upset. Some Hermes fans defended the brand, arguing that the overall quality of the product, as well as the brand reputation, still made it worth the price. For them, the Birkin is more than just a bag, it's a symbol, a status symbol, and nothing could diminish its allure. In their eyes, the supply chain doesn't matter as much as the aura of exclusivity that surrounds the brand. This revelation could have serious consequences for Hermes, especially in terms of legal repercussions. In many countries, there are strict laws governing truth in advertising and product labeling. If it's proven that Hermes misled consumers about the true origins of its products, the company could face legal challenges, including lawsuits or fines. The fact that Hermes has marketed its bags as handmade in France when they were actually mass-produced in China could be viewed as a violation of those laws. As more people begin to question the truth behind luxury brands, we could be witnessing the beginning of a shift in the way the industry operates. Consumers are starting to demand more transparency, and companies may soon have to rethink how they market their products. So, what's next for Hermes and other luxury brands? Will the industry continue to thrive on the perception of exclusivity, or will we see a move toward greater honesty and authenticity in how these products are made? At the end of the day, the luxury market is all about perception. Hermes is undoubtedly one of the most well-known and respected brands in the world, but as consumers, we need to ask ourselves, what are we really paying for? The truth about the Birkin bag might just make us rethink what we value most, whether it's the product, the brand, or the illusion of luxury that comes with it. The next time you see a Birkin bag, ask yourself, what's truly worth the price? The craftsmanship, the materials, or simply the brand name that's been carefully cultivated over decades? In the world of luxury fashion, sometimes it's the illusion that costs the most.